Good evening, and welcome to this special investigative report on a musical phenomenon that is currently defying the laws of the traditional music industry. For decades, Whitney Houston's One Moment in Time has been considered the final boss of vocal challenges, a song so technically demanding and emotionally taxing that even seasoned divas steer clear of it in a live setting. It requires a Herculean level of lung capacity, a flawless transition between registers, and a climax that can easily result in a vocal blowout if handled incorrectly. Yet, a young woman from Wigan, England, named Lucy Thomas, has done the unthinkable. Her recent rendition has sent shockwaves through the vocal community, racking up millions of views and leaving critics questioning everything they thought they knew about modern talent. This isn't just another cover, it is a tactical statement. In an era where the music industry is dominated by whisper singing and heavy digital correction, Thomas has pivoted in the opposite direction, leaning into a powerhouse classical crossover style that many thought was dead. But as we dig deeper into this story, we find that the stunning performance is only the tip of the iceberg. There are whispers behind the scenes that this specific recording was a make-or-break moment for her career, intended to prove to the global stage that she is no longer the child star we once knew. The stakes were incredibly high, as failing to hit that final, iconic high note could have labeled her as just another viral try-hard. Instead, she delivered a performance that feels almost suspiciously perfect, leading some to wonder if we are witnessing a once-in-a-generation miracle or a masterclass in independent branding. But as the applause grows louder, so do the questions about how she actually got here. What if I told you that the biggest mistake a major television network ever made was letting this girl walk away without a trophy? To understand the gravity of the One Moment in Time viral explosion, we have to look back at the origins of Lucy's career, which began under the bright, unforgiving lights of The Voice Kids. At the time, she was just a teenager, appearing to be another hopeful in the conveyor belt of reality TV talent. However, looking back at the archives, it's clear that something was different. While her peers were chasing temporary TikTok trends, Thomas was studying the greats. But here is where the story takes a SHCKNG turn. She didn't win. In the world of corporate music, failing to win a reality show is usually the end of the road. Most contestants disappear into obscurity or end up performing in local theater. But for Lucy, this rejection became her greatest asset. Sources close to the singer suggest that the loss allowed her to bypass the restrictive, multi-year contracts that the winners are often forced to sign, contracts that frequently stifle an artist's true identity for the sake of marketability. By walking away empty-handed, she was actually handed the keys to her own kingdom. She avoided the legal traps that have derailed so many young careers, allowing her to build a direct-to-consumer model that completely cuts out the middleman. This independent streak has caused quite a stir in London and Los Angeles, where label executives are reportedly frustrated that they can't claim a percentage of her skyrocketing revenue. She has essentially exposed a massive flaw in the traditional system. If you have the voice, you don't need the gatekeepers. However, this independence has come with its own set of challenges, leading to accusations that she is being gatekept from major radio play because she refused to play the game by the industry's rules. But as the numbers prove, the public has already made their choice, and the momentum is only building. Scientific studies on freesaw, or skin-tingling chills, might explain why your brain reacts so violently to Thomas's key change. There is a specific moment in her One Moment in Time cover that has become a case study for vocal coaches worldwide. It happens during the final bridge, where the orchestration swells and Thomas hits a sustained note that seems to defy the limits of human breath control. In our investigation into why this specific video is giving everyone goosebumps, we found that it's not just about the pitch, it's about the vocal color. Musicologists have pointed out that Thomas possesses a rare, old soul resonance, a quality usually reserved for singers who have spent 40 years on the stage. This has led to intense speculation online, with some skeptics exposing theories that the audio must be heavily processed or enhanced to achieve such clarity. However, those who have seen her perform in intimate, live settings tell a different story. They describe an experience that is almost overwhelming, claiming the raw power of her voice is actually dampened by digital recordings. This controversy over the authenticity of her sound has actually fueled her retention rates, as viewers watch and rewatch her videos, looking for any sign of lip-syncing or studio magic. What they find instead is a masterclass in technique. The rumors of her being a studio creation have largely been debunked by her live appearances, but the mystery remains. How does a 20-year-old maintain such shckng vocal health while tackling songs that have offed the careers of other professionals? Experts suggest she may be using a specific, highly guarded classical training method that protects her vocal folds from the trauma associated with belting. This technical shield is what allows her to perform these power ballads back-to-back without the OD of vocal strain that plagues pop stars today. But as she continues to perfect this impossible sound, a new threat is emerging from the shadows of the industry. Behind the scenes of those beautiful music videos, a high-stakes bidding war is reportedly turning into a legal standoff. As a news organization, we've been tracking the business side of the Lucy Thomas phenomenon, and the details are increasingly mysterious. Typically, when an artist hits the level of global recognition that Lucy has achieved, surpassing billions of streams, they are quickly absorbed by a conglomerate like Universal or Sony. But Lucy Thomas remains an outlier. Our sources indicate that she has been approached with staggeringly high offers, yet she remains signed to a small, independent label. This has led to speculation that she is intentionally being blacklisted or shadow banned from certain mainstream award shows and A-list playlists. The shocking truth might be that the industry is afraid of her. If an independent artist can reach the top of the iTunes and Billboard crossover charts without a $10 million marketing budget, it proves that the old guard is becoming obsolete. There are rumors surfaced that major labels have tried to buy out her catalog just to control the distribution, fearing that her clean, talent-first image is making their highly manufactured pop stars look bad in comparison. This conflict has created a us versus them narrative among her fanbase, who see themselves as protectors of her career against the corporate vultures. Furthermore, there is talk of a secret project involving a legendary producer who has allegedly come out of retirement just to work with her, bypass the usual legal hurdles, to ensure her sound isn't watered down for the masses. This battle for her artistic soul is reaching a fever pitch, and one moment in time seems to be her battle cry. But as the industry clashes behind closed doors, Lucy's personal life and her untold stories are starting to leak into the public eye. Not everyone is celebrating this performance, as a vocal civil war has broken out among Whitney Houston purists. While the majority of the feedback for Lucy's Whitney cover has been positive, there is a shocking undercurrent of backlash from a specific corner of the internet. For many, Whitney Houston is an untouchable sacred figure, and any attempt to cover her signature song is viewed as sacrilege. These critics have exposed their frustrations on forums, claiming that a young girl from Wigan cannot possibly understand the pain and struggle that Whitney poured into the original 1988 Olympic anthem. They argue that Thomas's version is too polished or too safe, lacking the soulful grit of the original. This controversy has sparked a massive debate about cultural appropriation versus musical appreciation in the classical crossover genre. However, the shckng twist is that members of Whitney's own extended circle have reportedly reached out to express their admiration for Lucy's technical precision. This clash of opinions has only served to drive more traffic to the video, as curious viewers tune in to see if the outrage is justified. Beyond the drama, there is also speculation about the emotional toll this takes on Lucy. Imagine being 20 years old and having the ghost of the greatest singer of all time constantly hovering over your career. Every note you hit is compared to a legend. Every breath is analyzed for weakness. There are rumors that Lucy initially hesitated to release this cover, fearing the vibe of the internet's cancel culture if she didn't meet the impossible standard. The fact that she moved forward with it suggests a level of courage or defiance that we rarely see in modern artists. But just as the Whitney debate settles, a new revelation regarding her next career move has left fans shook. A mysterious social media post and a leaked casting call have fans convinced that Lucy is about to disappear from YouTube. As we conclude this report, we have to address the rumors that have surfaced in the last 48 hours regarding Lucy's departure from her current format. While her YouTube channel is her home, insiders have noted that she has been spending an unusual amount of time in London's West End and has reportedly been seen in meetings with high-level film executives. The speculation is that she has been tapped for a massive role in an upcoming film adaptation of a classic musical, one that would require her to relocate and potentially pause her independent releases. This has caused a panic among her loyal subscribers, who fear that Hollywood will change her or censor the raw talent they fell in love with. Furthermore, there are whispers of a secret album featuring original songs that are DMND near impossible for anyone else to sing, designed to shatter her image as just a cover artist. If these leaks are true, One Moment in Time wasn't just a tribute to Whitney, it was her audition for the world stage. She is revealing a new side of herself, one that isn't afraid to off the expectations of her innocent start. Whether she stays independent or succumbs to the allure of Hollywood, one thing is clear: the goosebumps she provides aren't going away anytime soon. She has exposed the fact that in 2026, the public is starving for real talent. We will be watching closely as this untold story continues to unfold, but for now, the shocking power of her voice remains the headline. The question remains: is the